Hello, hello. We are going to go ahead and get into your personal love reading for this week. See what is going on, energy surrounding your love life, and what the divine wants and needs you to know most at this time. Divine, may I have 3 more cards, please? So let's go ahead and tap one in. This, I feel like, is overall what you're trying to do, and that's fine. A delicate balance. Strike a balance between freedom and commitment. Underneath that is reciprocal lines. Navigate boundaries with grace. Mastering the art of give and take in harmony. So you may be shifting out of this phase of where things weren't reciprocal. You had to draw the lines and let this person know that if A isn't being countered with B in an equal manner, feeling, or way, equal or equal to, then we have to see where we're going to go with this. But then delicate balance came in with the person. Looks like they may have made a genuine effort to negotiate terms which would satisfy them and you, and exceed your expectations. But let's see here. That's what you want. That's what you're looking to do, and strike a balance to get to that place. So here we have restraints test, trapped in instability, resist impulsive urges to find steadier ground. Then counsel's compass, seek advice to steer judgment as insightful talks illuminate your journey. And then ticking clock, let love unfold naturally and give it time to grow. Also, all things are supporting this delicate balance energy. So with restraints test, trapped in instability, resist impulsive urges to find steadier ground, meaning, looking for escape routes, whatever escape routes would mean for you in order to cope with the discomfort and the instability that's going on in this relationship with you right now. Obviously, it's of a significant importance to you. It's grown over time, and maybe this trial is really showing you just how much you're involved, invested, and have feelings for the person on the other side of this energy. So restraints test is where you keep yourself in position because you have other options that you could be taking, but it would sully your personal record, meaning your personal record with you. You would always know whether or not the person on the other side of this knows or that you've done something untoward. You would always know, and you'll have to live with that. And you'll have to always, since you are obviously a person that is aware, you're here, you'd have to live with that karmic return. It's going to have to boomerang. So this is where you actually, you said you wanted to change some things. This is a test of that. And it's also, if you've never, had to experience it, this is where you're going to understand. This is where the woman or the man looks into the abyss and makes a choice. Okay. So sometimes you don't know what you're going to do in regards to a certain type of decision or action until you're actually really faced with it. Theoretically, you say, I would never fall prey to that. But then again, there's no pressure on you at that point. There's nothing surrounding you that will push you to that point. But now you're there, and this is the test for yourself, your personal expectations for what you want and how you want to move in your life and the life and lifestyle you're looking to create, because every move is intention towards your future self. So think about the intentions that you're making towards your future self right now. At the center is counsel's compass, seek advice to steer judgment as insightful talks illuminate your journey. Exactly. So you're going to want to talk to a person who has a very calm and peaceful nature at their baseline, because you need someone who's not necessarily going to get chaotic. You need someone that's going to hear you out, preferably not interrupt you, so as to let you just both express and dump your emotions out. Okay, so you can relieve that pressure, and then the person can come back in and ask you a series of calming and enlightening questions with which so you guys can discuss things back and forth and find the middle ground with the situation. And then ticking clock, let love unfold naturally and give it time to grow. And that's the other thing, supporting all of these energies, support finding the delicate balance, because you do have to give this person on the other side of this energy the ability and the opportunity to think for themselves and the relationship, for what they need for themselves and what they need for the relationship. So that way they can come to the table fully able to express their emotions, which lead to constructing a good bridge over whatever the troubled water is at this time, and getting to a place to collaborate and create a solution moving forward, resolve the situation. Okay. All right. So let's get the details of this. What it feels like, I mean, interesting to say, resolve how you communicate. This may be dealing with how you guys are communicating, just in general about things. Because as you, again, there was that earlier energy of this particular storm is really showing you how much you really care and love and have grown to integrate this person into your life in an effective manner, which they really do have influence of, of a certain type with you. And now you're like, wait, hold on. You're like, I'm not ready to let go that quick. So that part as well, the growing of the bond. So let's see here. Tap in, Divine. May we have 10 best cards with the details of what's going on with this energy, please? Temperance. How apropos. I feel like this is going to be the card that's saying what the divine wants the overall energy for you to find at this time with yourself, baby, is temperance with yourself, okay? This is about being kind to yourself during this storm, because there are things that you want to do to cope, which, again, any one of us will want to do. You want to get, the first thing you want to do when you're feeling pain is you have to figure out a way to cope with it. And that's what that energy of restraint is coming for, to guide you through that part. And like, it's passing. It'll pass. As soon as you tell yourself, you change the narrative, you say to yourself, set your intentions and say, no, I don't have any intentions of doing anything to that severe to myself and to the future of the relationship by behaving foolishly at this point, whatever that would mean. That would be something that would be a negative towards the relationship. The temperance is here to say that's what you need to do within yourself. Find the balance. Say yes and acknowledge the feelings that you're angry and you're upset about what is going on, how things are occurring. It's just not ideal right now. However, there's still the balance of, but all these other things are. And in order for these other things to continue to grow and get better between us, we'll have to deal with this thing that's blocking our way. So the Four of Wands in reverse, Nine of Pentacles up front and early was about the energy, about stability. There's an instability there. And with the Four of Wands being in reverse, again, Divine is really big on this instability. But first, the instability, again, has to be addressed within you so that you can see it for what it is, and not allow it to just come to take on this false narrative of it being more than what it is. Because in order, if it becomes more than what it is, it becomes too big of a problem to try to tackle or handle. And you'll feel smaller and smaller and smaller versus the problem getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the main thing is to remember that standing eye to eye, this is something that you two have, that has developed between the both of you over time. So no one is really that much about, or it's more so you than it is me. It's just been a transferring of energy back and forth, and no real filter to kind of like get in there and filter out the problems and figure out how to make the situation work and grow. So the Nine of Pentacles being here is where there's this energy of independence, of where the divine has asked you to step away for just a moment. Classic, what I would say is take 3 steps back from yourself, kind of like you're hovering, and just view yourself and say, and view yourself without judgment, and just say, okay, so we're upset, we're acting out, we're doing all these things, check, normal, pissed off. But then being able to look away from that energy and look deeper and say, but what am I really hiding? What am I really hurting about? And it's really that there's something about the conversation is bringing about a lack of respect. Now, it doesn't mean lack of respect in a denigrating way, but more so in terms of like, it feels like the energy of speaking out of turn in some way, either in a sense that it is a public conversation or public commentary that is private commentary that's being said at times that where you both are in the public, and public would be equivalent to one person to over 100 people around you, and people are within earshot and can hear this, and it's really something that should be said privately. The other part would be there's something with a grasp of freedom in some kind of way, like an expectation of exclusivity that hasn't really been discussed in thoroughly. And one person may just not, probably you, are not on terms with trying to be exclusive. I mean, right now you just not realize you got feelings for this mother trucker in this thing in that type of way. So, like, nah, I ain't ready to get that deep that quick. Hold on, hence the sun card in reverse. Like, I'm happy to be with you, but you ain't. I'm not finna just like be with you. I mean, well, I might, but I don't. The jury's still out. See what I'm saying? Like, I need a little more time to confer, and then we'll come together and we'll talk about that. Okay, because then we're not just gonna assume ish. So, because when we assume, you make an ass out of, and we ain't doing that. So, Seven of Swords in reverse. There's nothing deceptive going on either side in terms of, there's no intention of deceit or deceptiveness between the two of you guys, which is beautiful to see. So there's nothing to worry about there. Between these two energies is the Empress, and that is because your energy that you're carrying is that of creation and glow. Okay, a nurturing, a caring, a sensitivity that is present within you, but also displayed with wisdom. Interesting, I'm hearing selectiveness, but I don't think it's selectiveness in a manipulative way, more so like you have been selective at what times you have displayed this side of yourself. It's not something that you just give away freely to this person. You know, like Empress energy is like, you know, yeah, that's to be protected. That's your divinity. That's a certain energy, and around certain folks, you know, it can be a problem. Okay, the Hangman in reverse with the King of Pentacles in reverse under this Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. With the Hangman in reverse clarifying the Four of Wands, it's like you really don't, there's nothing more for you to deliberate on in terms of you thinking that there is an issue, there is a challenge here that has to be addressed before moving forward. Like, you would love to go into a place of exclusivity with this person based on everything else that's going on, but this one thing is a very dangerous trigger in terms of communication between the two of you guys, because people who are very powerful and passionate, this is what definitely feels like, especially with this Empress out here and this King of Pentacles, two powerful and passionate people that find a certain level of balance, but it takes a lot of effort to hold it because they're kind of like restricting themselves too, right? So it's a facade. All it needs is one person to just like say, okay, enough is enough. I'm tired of holding it up. And, you know, then you got a problem, which is what it feels like here. But this feels like the divine has put the two of you guys together to recognize that that is your problem. Like, if individually y'all's problem, and y'all need to check the gate on this whole not being adaptable with how you communicate with people. Okay, I'm just a messenger. Please don't hurt or harm me. But I mean, it's really just that thing is really a beautiful thing, because this King of Pentacles in reverse, the masculine energy, the divinity, the feminine energy within you both has reached a level of Empress, which is divinity, right? Human divinity in the flesh. But the King of Pentacles is in reverse. So that means your fleshly energy, meaning the space between your divinity and your flesh, which is the ego in my interpretation, my chart. That gray area, okay? That bliss point area where you have to keep yourself, because your ego is what everybody pretty much sees most of the time. Okay? Let's be real. But right now, that part is a problem for y'all both. It's an unwillingness. It's like, this is how I communicate. This is how I flow. I really don't feel like I should have to adjust this in order to, you know, be in a relationship with you, if you really do love me the way that you say you do, and we say that we do love each other and what we want, then you should just have to deal with that. Like, is that really love though? If you ask us, if you're not willing to say, well, what can I adjust? Because it's not gonna change everything. I mean, come on now, we're not going back to square one here with you, but it's more so like it's just adapted. You're gonna pretty much be saying, again, express your emotions, express your feelings about what's going on without attacking the other person, which is to say that you're making me feel like XYZ because you won't do A, B, and C for me. It's like, wait, hold on. Right? That's more like dumping your emotions, right? Just because if it feels like you're attacking and it's a bit threatening, as if to say, if this doesn't happen, then I'm going to have to pull away and it's not going to happen. And that's kind of how the communication is going between the two of you at this moment. There's this looming threat or punishment there. Ace of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Wands here. And that's where that is about the unwillingness to accept the fact that you're both kind of throwing threats at each other, not with any real intention, because you're trying to mask over the fact that you're just really hurt, that you're not communicating properly. One person wants to just move into an exclusive relationship as if it's just supposed to happen. Like, I said that's what it is, and so that's what it is. And it's like, wait, we're not even going to discuss this. And the other person is coming from the standpoint of, no, we need to discuss this. And I'm not going to be like pooped on because you feel like because I want to take time and really consider what this means for me and my life and my lifestyle. It's not that I have a doubt about being exclusive to you. No. And I'm sorry if that was how you may have thought, how I may have communicated it, or the feeling that you got from what I said when I said I want to take time to think about it. No, that's not it. I have to adjust my mindset, my life, my lifestyle to integrate you into my life full time. That's what exclusivity is. Like, I'm responsible for your romantic energy in life exclusively, which means when you're feeling a certain type of way, you reach out to me. When you need to talk about something, you reach out. I'm like your number one person. I'm like the call, yeah. Okay. So I have to really be like, this is what I want to do. Eight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. Not fighting it. I'm not fighting. I'm just like, let me be 100% sure this is what I want. So Eight of Pentacles in order to grow and expand the situation and push and move towards exclusivity. Okay? That's what it feels like is going on out here. So let's see. This Ace of Swords in reverse is really about this. It's that Seven of Swords in reverse too. About a willingness and an openness here to be ready to accept the fact that you're communicating as individuals and not communicating on the basis of a couple, like looking at the other and saying, so in order for me to do this and get a successful bond, this is what I have to be willing to negotiate, relinquish, or calm down, or however the case may be, in order for this person to feel safe and secure to come into this energy of exclusivity, right? And vice versa, whatever the other person is saying as well, okay? That's what it feels like is happening out here. But with the Sun card in reverse, you're just a decision away from getting this resolved. Okay, so let's take a look at Divine. Need you to know a work called Divine Strategy moving forward, guidance moving forward. But good, the Knight of Wands is in reverse. You're restraining yourself, but with the King of Pentacles in reverse, honey, be mindful not to be too logical, too dry. Matter of fact, with your conversation, remember to balance the energy out with this Empress energy and be nurturing. Okay. Too many Divine. May I just have one card, please? Determination. Perseverance leads to fortune. All right, so determination leads to fortune. Okay. Be persistent with yourself, and then channel the energy properly, and then move with persistence to resolve the conflict that is going on within the communication space of you all communicating what you really want for each other romantically, okay? Don't come to heads over it. Come to tails over it. No, don't come to heads over it. Don't butt heads over it. Just sit down and have a conversation. First, with you and the Divine, get you together, okay? And then when the Divine says and gives you that nudge or that feeling to say, okay, now it's time to talk to them. Go ahead and have a conversation, resolve the situation, and, be prepared for a couple of, bumps in the road, because it's going to happen. But stay steadfast. Remember this Eight of Pentacles energy of expanding. Find the temperance balance within yourself so that you can find the balance within the situation. If you're balanced with yourself with what's going on with this, like fully balanced, like a left or right or up, nothing could shock you. And if it did hit and it got you out of, if they do sucker punch you, you'll recover quickly and don't throw it back. Then that's when it's time to go. Okay? All right. Thank you so very much for your valuable time and attention. You are seen, you are heard, you matter. And remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.